Hi and welcome back. In this video we're talking about filtering. And in the last video we looked at a few examples of where missing out on filtering could result in something disastrous, like deleting your entire tables or modifying all your rows to have some new value. Let's make an update now to row number 1 only. And this is how it would go. We'd say update the people table, setting the name now to be equal to Joseph, but we're adding this where clause at the end, a where clause which says ID equal 1. This is only going to change the row that has ID of 1, setting the name now to Joseph. I think Jose is a bit nicer, but you never know. Notice that in SQL, the equal operator is used for comparison as well as assignment. In this case, it's used for assignment. We're setting the new name to be Joseph. But it's also used for comparison here. We're only changing those where the ID is equal to 1. We're not going to modify the ID here. We're just checking that they match. The ID column must be 1. And in Python, we'd use a double equal sign for this. But in SQL, you use a single equal sign because it knows that you cannot change things in a where clause. So you don't need a double equal sign here. Okay, let's go over to another example. Now we're going to select using a where clause. Once again, select star from people where the name is Jen. And that's going to give us only row number 3. Let's delete. Once again, same thing, delete from people where ID is 1. It's going to give us all the other rows other than the first one. Notice that this does change the database. So it's not like you get a result back of this table, but it changes the database and then you could extract this entire result set using a select. So as you can see, the where statement goes in a pretty reasonable place for the English language. Normally at the end, but sometimes it doesn't go quite at the end if there are other clauses like we're going to look at in a moment. Here's a few more examples. Select star from purchases where amount is greater than 150. Pretty English-like, you're selecting where something is true. Select star from users where the registered date is less than this magic number here. And this number, by the way, if you've never come across the integers for dates, so that's a very long integer that represents a date, that's a Unix timestamp. It's the number of seconds that have passed since the 1st of January 1970 at midnight. And it's sort of the way of storing dates in databases, so that you don't have to deal with formatting. Does the month go first or does the day go first? Just use an integer and everything's solved. We've got select star from people where name is not equal to Rolf. You can do this. And of course you can do select star from purchases where amount is greater than 150 or the type is online. You can also use and like here. Select star from users where username is Jose and access is admin. Notice, by the way, that I do something that I'm not terribly proud of, which is I don't put any spaces around the equal sign, but I put spaces around the other symbols. When I was making this presentation, I really tried to either put spaces around the equal sign or remove the spaces around the other symbols, but I just couldn't bring myself to it. For me, this looks natural. Maybe it's just because the way I've been doing it for a long time. I couldn't bring myself to add spaces around the equal sign. That just felt a bit wrong. And I couldn't bring myself to remove the spaces around the other symbols. That just felt a bit weird as well. You can put spaces around it. You can remove the spaces. Up to you. This is the way I like doing it. I don't know why. Anyway, so select or update or delete where some clause, some boolean, and you can use or and to add multiple types of boolean. And of course, you can only use the column names that are available on your table to make these comparisons. So you can select where the amount or the type, given that these two are columns on your table, but the star here will get all your columns. You can only get some columns if you prefer. So you could say select ID from purchases where amount is greater than 150 or type is online. That would be fine as well. What I'm trying to say is that these comparisons here don't have to be selected necessarily, but you can if you want. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you've learned something about how to use filtering. I know we're not going too in-depth in here, but I just wanted to show you enough so that we can proceed with our Milestone project. So with that said, I'll see you on the next video.